Hello again, this is UML Operator. All right, in this session, we're going to build a cover page. I've shown you this in other videos, but they were buried in larger content segments. And this time, I'm just going to focus on building a cover page. And there's lots of reasons why you need a cover page. And one of those is to provide a space that your users, stakeholders, clients, collaborators, they land on when you launch Sparx Enterprise Architect, EA, in cloud or SQL, or when you're just building your own project in your local instance and you want to quickly navigate through the project material in a meaningful way. So there's lots of reasons why you need or want a cover page. One of those is that you want to allow your stakeholders, when they land in your project, whether it's in cloud, SQL, or even just yourself working in a local environment, and you want to quickly navigate to the diagrams, model, and intelligence that you have in that project. In this particular case, we put in hyperlinks with intelligence or words explaining what's underneath this model and allows users to very quickly click on them and get to them at ease, I want to say, navigating like in a website. So this allows users to navigate through your material, even navigate to external sites where intelligence is going to be about a particular subject or research material that you're working on. So you're in a project file. Here we have a blank diagram that is at the head of something called a project, right? And in that we have architecture relevant to applications, scope, and we have use case or use cases that we want to present. So in our project, let's close everything except project. What we want to do is we want to build a cover page, a landing page, if you will, that allows users to get to those other diagrams. Now, if you're building a cover page from scratch, you want to add some context to it. You want to put a header that explains what the landing page that they're on. So we're going to drag and drop a text element in. We're going to bring another text element in, and we're going to bring an image in for our logo. And let's just grab this as our logo. We have pictures that are images that are in here that we've chosen. You can upload, add new, your own logos, and so on. So we're going to hit OK, and we've got this that's here right now, right? So in this first cell, what we want to do is we want this to be the title or the header 1 of the cover page that's coming in. And then we want to put some sort of message underneath it that explains where they are, because we might want to reuse this header in other cover pages within our project as we're going forward. And then we're going to have a space right here where we can title what that landing page, interstitial page is, or cover page when they land on it. So for the title, what we're going to do is we're going to double click on this. We can open up notes here, and we're just simply going to type a project, right? And then we're going to hit OK. And then here, what we're going to do is we're just going to put in main landing page. So something simple, whatever you want to put in there, right? And then what we want to do is we want to style the header. So we're going to go to layout. We're going to hit the A under style. We're going to go to V for Verdana so we can quickly get to it. I'm going to go bold, and I'm going to make this 16 points. All right, so something like that. And then here, I'm going to go to style. I'm going to hit V for Verdana, and I'm going to make this 14. Let's see what this looks like. And I don't really like that. So I'm going to make this 12, and this too is going to be bold. And you can come up here and you can add colors in here, any colors you want. Let's just pick something simple right now. Oh, red's negative, isn't it? So let's pick something blue, and let's pick something purple. So we're going to use more colors, and I want the UML, this color purple here, just something like that, all right? And so once we get this thing set, and we certainly can add some more into it. Another thing you can do is if you double click in here and you go to diagrams, we can sit here and we can turn on borders So right now this is hide page borders for all diagrams. That's turned on because I don't like to see the page borders. Let's go ahead and put the page border in here. Let's zoom out a little bit. You can see this is how wide 8.5 inches or whatever this set for in your pages and preferences. And you could go all the way out here. You could make these larger if you wanted to take up this entire space. But what we're going to do is we're going to just put it right here for now. Double click back in here, go to diagrams, and then I want to hide page borders in all diagrams. All right. So that way I've got that set. We're going to go over to pan and zoom in a little bit in here to fit the page. And let's start bringing in some elements. All right, let's go from pan and zoom back over to browser here. And the first element we're going to bring in is the application diagram to navigate from in here. So I'm going to drag and drop this diagram in here and let go. And I can bring it in as a hyperlink, or I could bring it in as a navigation cell. And I'm going to bring it in as a navigation cell. So I'm just going to select that. Now I don't have to pick an icon right now, and I can come back and change it. I'm not going to pick one, and I'm just going to hit OK. So I have a navigation cell that gets to the very first element that's underneath that cell, and that's this diagram. All right. So let's go ahead and bring in the next one. So this is your scope, our scope, right? And then I'm going to use navigation cell. I'm not going to use diagram frames or diagram reference. I'll let you play around with those. I use hyperlinks if I want to put words or explanations like you would see on a website, and then they would select it and it would drill down to whatever the element you have mapped to that hyperlink in there. And I'm not going to use listener. So pretty much for my cover pages, use either hyperlink or use a navigation cell. I can certainly bring in the package. Let me cancel out here and show you what that looks like. So when I bring in the package, drag and drop package element, as soon as I let go, it just shows me the content that's underneath the package here. And I could double click in here, go to elements, go all the way down here and hide package content. I'm going to check that off. And then I just have something that looks like a package. But that's not what I want to do. I'm going to bring this scope B element in here as a navigation cell. And again, I will choose icons later. That's not what this video is about. You've seen me do that in other videos. And I can start the size. I can select everything over on the left justify, or do left justify up here in alignment. And we can play around with the cells this way. The next one I'm going to bring in is use cases. Drag and drop this in here. Navigation cell. Again, not going to select one. I'm just leave it blank. And I have this one. And you can size these to make them fit in a particular area. You may have a lot of different, let me do this slower for you, a lot more diagrams you want to put or cells that you want to put in a landing page. So I'm selecting everything that I want this size. I'm going to right click on this, same height and width, and there we go. We've got something looking like that. I can select all of them again, line top, and then align, space them apart evenly. Right now we're starting to see a cover page come together. I'm going to move this down a little bit. I'm going to move this over a little bit. I'm going to size this circle a little bit. Let me maintain an oval size. You just drag and drop it. Paint your logo however you want to do that. You may have a default size that comes in. And if I'm at 100%, this is going to be pretty small. But this is what we're going to do in this demonstration. So now if I publish this project with this as the top or the page selected in when I publish to web, if I go out to web and standardize HTML, I choose this as the current. When the website URL launches, it will land on this cover page. All right, so we've just built a cover page. All right, this is not how I do it. Because I've already built a pattern that is my cover page. So what we're going to do is we're just going to go up to these hidden items here, and I'm going to delete all of these from here. Shift, select everything, right click, delete selected items. Everything should be gone. All right. So what I tend to do is build a pattern. I'm going to go to resources, and I have several cover page patterns that are in here that I can use. And let's go ahead and use this one. Let's look at it. Yeah, good enough. Let's use this one. And again, I could drag and drop this in here and let go of the mouse button, or I can right click on it and add, and it's going to put in the upper left-hand corner. Yes, please add it. And now we add a cover page in here that is set for a particular subject or perspective that we want to build a cover page for. And you could certainly come in here and add other things. As you've seen, I'm going to bring in the UML logo. Now I've got this in here and it's below it. I can change, go to layout. I can make this above. I can make it beyond, behind, do those kind of things as I'm building a cover page. And then if we go back to project and come in, I can bring a package in as I've shown you. I could bring this as a hyperlink in here, but we're going to bring these in as cells. And let me bring the next one in as a hyperlink in here. I'm going to bring this one in here, and I'm going to bring it as a hyperlink. When you're bringing it as a hyperlink, kind of a default size here. You can size this any way you want. And then you can come in here to the font here and choose whatever font you want. And what we're going to do is hit V for Verdana. I'll make 10 points regular, and we're starting to build some content in here. Now I could leave that diagram icon in here, or I could right click in here, go to properties, and I can hide that icon. And whatever I type in notes, these are the notes over on the right-hand side. If I right-click it and I go to properties, I will see notes right here, but I'm going to type it over here on the right. I can type something about this particular project item. In this case, this is requirements. I can put a meaningful subject in here. And I'm going to do that offline here and come right back. All right, now we have some notes in here, and we say this solution is relevant to the requirements or scope to the client stakeholders provided. And then I sometimes put click for more details, ... means there's something more or more information. You double click it or click it on the web, and they go right to what the scope is and other intelligence that's within the project diagrams, models. Once you get a cover page set the way you want for reuse, create a pattern. And so what we're going to do is we're going to hold down the left mouse button, drag over the elements that we want to copy. We're going to hit Control C to copy. We're going to go to our destination. This is the blank diagram with the naming convention for this diagram that we use for patterns. MP is model pattern underscore the title of the diagram or model. That's cover page 3. And then the date it was created, that's the convention we use. And then we're going to paste as new. You do not want to insert this. We are going to hit Control, Shift, and V, and you get this dialog box up here, and we're going to go ahead and press that. And it's creating new global unique IDs for these elements so that they can be reused separately. We're going to hold down the left mouse button, drag this up here in the upper left like that. And then we're going to hit Control S to save. And then we're going to be on the Specialized tab. We're going to go to Publish Technology, and we're going to select Publish Diagram as Pattern. All right, let me do that again for you a little slower. So you have the pattern that's set and ready to be saved. You're going to go to the Specialized tab, Publish Technology under Technologies group, and then we're going to Publish Diagram as Pattern. I'm going to select that. And here we want to make sure that we type in the proper category for this, and that's Model Patterns. Make sure you spell it right, spaces and so on, so that it goes to the right place. Then we have 0.01 is the version. It picks up the notes from whatever you typed over in notes for that diagram or pattern. It picked up the pattern name from the package folder, and we're going to hit Browse, and we're going to go to where we're going to store patterns. Now, what I normally do is I just copy, use the same naming convention that I had here, copy this. Then when I browse, all I have to do is paste it in, and it has the name. We're going to go ahead and hit yes. So ready to go. It's going in the right place. I'm going to hit OK. And now this pattern is saved in a pattern repository where others can bring it in and reuse it in their projects. So if I'm in a project, I'm going to go over in the browser to resources where our patterns are. I'm going to right click on patterns, and I don't want to right click on like model patterns or any of these folders. Up here at the top, I'm going to right click on this import pattern, and then I'm going to go to where we save that pattern, and I'm going to hit open, and it's going to load that pattern in the proper category. Right, so we named it properly so that it landed here. And now if I open this up, now we have this pattern that's ready for reuse in other project material, content, even this own project. Now, before we wrap up, I need to show you how to set this cover page as the default diagram or page to load when you load your project. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to the Start tab, and in the Start tab in the Collaborate group, you see Model Home. Come down here to Manage, Set Current as Default. And what this will do is load this diagram for your team when they launch the project. So if you're in Sparx Cloud or you're in a SQL instance, this is the diagram, the cover page that'll load every time the team loads this project. Now, if you just wanted to set a diagram or a cover page to load by default for just you and not the team, you go to Personal in the Start tab, and you come up here to My Diagram. We're going to hit the drop down, Manage, Set Current as Default. All right. So I'm not going to select that because we're not logged into a SQL instance, and you can see that it's not enabled and you're not allowed to do that. You see it's disabled, it's gray. I'm in a local environment, so the only option that I have is under the Collaborate group, Model Home, Manage, Set as Default. Now when this project loads, this is the diagram that's going to load when the project comes up. Yeah, I hope this video helped you. I've been getting a lot of questions about cover pages, landing pages, interstitial pages going forward. So I hope that you learned a lot and you're able to go into other project content within yours. We could go to any particular package that we want, and I'm going to drag this down a little bit, go over now and add this pattern that we just created to our diagram. So very simple to do, to create content that's reusable using patterns. You can store and manage this in your reusable asset service data for managing the pattern itself, as I show in other videos, and then save it as reference data so that when people creating projects, they bring the reference data in, they bring in all your patterns, your report templates, and everything else that you need to run a particular project very quickly and easy. Thanks very much for watching, and until the next time we talk, happy modeling.